Again, this is a safe space, guys. We just want to make sure that you're comfortable. Know that everybody is feeling the same way you do, a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious, but this is the perfect time to practice just because, know that everybody's in that same mindset as you are. And we are here and we are very proud of you guys. So we are going to be absolutely supportive, provide feedback where, we can. We just want you to succeed. So this is the perfect place to start. So who wants to volunteer?
Get those reps in, just like building any other muscle. I know we've all been through job interviews or getting a driver's test, or you may have some performers that have auditioned. If you want a good outcome, you don't just show up. So if you're not practicing tonight, I encourage you to do it in the mirror, find a friend, find a stranger, find a child, and just practice getting through it, checking your time.
Call your friends, tell them, listen, you're having a drinking party, come over, pizza, wine, and beer, and then make them sit there and watch it. You'd probably want to get them drunk first, though, just because they might be mad at you if you don't.
Okay, hi, I present to you today Sunflower Compassionate Company. Our mission is to create holistic lifestyles through cannabis wellness through consumption lounges. I'm Rachel Lee, the founder. The problem that we have in Nevada is that currently Nevada laws prohibit smoking or consuming cannabis in public spaces. So another one of the problems that we often face is that cannabis is often smelled. We can smell the smoke in the air. And when tourists and locals smoke in public places, they are actually violating the state laws. Our solution is to provide a legal space that is safe and regulated for our environment, for tourists and locals to consume cannabis. It also educates tourists and ensures convenience. Our product and services that we will have to offer is fresh cannabis flower and cannabis options, food and beverage, evening entertainment, private event hosting, and a retail shop. We also will combine a unique daytime wellness session with activities such as yoga, meditation, and Pilates to support our holistic lifestyle approach. Thank you. Thank you. Sunflower Compassionate Company was born in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. And since online, I've made $527.16 in sales online and $1,337 in person sales. Right along with a 5-star Google rating. Our total available market, our TAM is 45 billion. Our serviceable available market is 1.22 million. And our serviceable obtainable market is 5.8 million annually. Say that one more time.
Oh, your second.
So the serviceable market that I was able to get for the state of Nevada would be, so am I wrong on that? Okay, well, thank you. Okay, thank you. You're absolutely right. I apologize, but yes. Thank you so much.
You're doing great. Yeah. You're doing freaking awesome.
Okay, I'm all right. I'm okay with it. But thank you for that correction there. Okay, so our target market is adults aged 21 through 65 who are interested in cannabis use. Tourists and locals seeking a place to consume cannabis, individuals using cannabis for pain management, and holistic lifestyle and wellness enthusiasts. Our direct competitors are Days Cannabis Lounge, that's inside of Planet 13, and Smoke and Mirrors Cannabis Lounge inside of Thrive. Our indirect competitors are nightclubs and wellness centers. I'm going backwards, sorry. Almost there. So Sunflower Compassionate Company, Cannabis Lounge and Wellness Clubs is what set us apart. That we offer a unique combination of cannabis and wellness to integrate the services, like I mentioned, such as yoga, meditation, and places like Days, Cannabis Lounge that's inside of Planet 13. They have a more of a they have more of a modern day traditional approach where people just come in and they have a seat. There's not much to do. I went to Days before and yeah, we just sat and smoked. They didn't have any entertainment or anything of that sort. And so that's what brings us apart from places like Days and Thrive Cannabis Market. Our business revenue model, we will have a 3-tier membership with the all-inclusive tier and the subscription, which will include the services that we will offer, such as meditation, Pilates, a certain amount of days per week for a $420 membership a month. I got that number because my sister actually pays this amount for regular Pilates. So I know that she actually pays more. So, and then I thought the $420 number was pretty cute. But we're gonna have a 4,200 member cap, and that will bring us to a $21 million revenue annually. And that's for all-inclusive membership, which includes the classes, the wellness classes, and a certain amount of cannabis, according to Nevada state laws. The second premier tier would be a subscription for $40.20 a month, and we would have a 4,200 member cap there as well. Well, yeah, and then that will bring a little over 2 million annually. And our basic tier, which is a $4.20 $4.20 monthly membership with a membership cap of 42,000 members. And that also comes with the basic package of being able to attend one of the services that we have, such as movie night or karaoke. And that will bring in 2,118,000 annually. Okay. We are asking for a $2.5 million investment for a 15% return on investment. 1.6 million is allocated for construction. 479,520 is for staff. 55,000 is for AI technology. I really wanted one of those cool robots. $200,000 is required by the Cannabis Compliance Board. That's if something was to go wrong, we have that cushion to set back on. So that is needed as well. $100,000 for inventory and supplies, $50,000 for our point of sale system and our website, and $40,000 for our marketing and branding. And this amount will get us to a operating status for the lounge. And again, that ask is 2.5 million for a 15% return. I'm not gonna read all this, but this is me. I am the team. I do bring over 10 years of experience in customer service and 4 years in the cannabis industry. I have a background with 7 certifications in cannabis training from a place called Cannabis Training University. I have attended many cohorts, one being CEIC, and this one 3 times now, Startup Nevada. The other 2 times was a complete fail. I just checked out. And then I also have a hands-on experience with working with 2 cultivations, and I currently work at a dispensary. Yeah, and so I also keep my knowledge going with a subscription that I have to MJ Biz Daily to keep up on the latest trends in the cannabis industry. And this is my contact information, my telephone number, my email to be reached, and my website, just in case you want to check out what we're doing over at Sunflower Compassionate Company.
Great job.
Great for soul.
Yeah. I did. You ready? Okay.
Amazing. So
Oh, wait, we gotta give some feedback first.
if you want to sit down, that's fine so that you can get some notes. But really great job. That was smooth. No, that was 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Yeah, great time. And that, had a couple stops to have conversations. So really nice timing. A lot of things that should be in there are a couple suggestions. One is right off the bat, your mission is awesome, but it's a mouthful. So I'd consider setting up the problem, even if you're not on your problem slide, like very briefly set up the problem in layman's terms before you give your mission. Yeah, so she started with that mission statement. And I think because there's a lot of words that we don't hear every day, or people might not be familiar with, consumption lounges, I think setting up the problem a little bit verbally so that you can say, answer to how you're solving it.
Okay.
So just like one brief sentence
Okay, I got it.
or your why.
Like leading with the problem.
Or even if it's not the problem slide, because that's a solution, that's part of a solution that you're saying there, you want to set it up for success, which is why the problem slide always comes before the solution slide. So your problem and solution slides were still good. But if you want to start with your mission here, I'd consider setting it up with
The problem slide before.
just a problem statement, even just verbally
Okay,
saying,
on that slide, okay,
or move that mission statement to your solution slide.
okay. Okay.
But-
So she has a question from Amina. Amina's asking you what does CEIC stand for? Cannabis Inclusion Community? Cannabis Equity and Inclusion Community. It was a cohort that was funded by state of Nevada.
So this is a great point though, especially for those of you, maybe you're in the medical space or you're in high tech or somewhere where acronyms exist that everyone in the room might know. Make sure that you define your acronyms. Don't assume that everyone has the same understanding. Yes, exactly. So the team slide, again, because these presentations are meant for an in-person pitch or a live pitch where you get to narrate along with the slides, less text is better because they won't have time to read all that. And you know your background, you know about yourself. So give yourself bullet points and or logos, just kind of brief things so that you can talk through that list without so much heavy text there. And then just so you write it down, on the TAM SOM.
Yes.
Yes, billion. Because you're starting with the TAM, which should be the largest number, right? And then you're narrowing down. So if that was in the billions.
Yeah, went from 45 billion to 1.2 billion. Makes sense.
Do you have any comments, Ken?
So what I was thinking here, what I thought of, that was the total of the available market in the world, right? In the United States. And then it went down to the serviceable available market in the state of Nevada. I don't know, if down was, but now we're.
No, I think it's just a typo because this number should be bigger than your SOM. Your SAM should be bigger than your SOM because you're progressively narrowing down your market. So that's 1.2 million. And what is that one? It's like 3 to 5 million.
No, just 5 to 7.
Or 5 to 8, right.
Yeah.
So go back and double check your research and your data, but that is probably supposed to be billion.
Oh, yeah.
See? Yeah. And then this is a note for everyone on the TAM SOM. You did your research, you have your numbers, make sure whether it's on your slide or you just know, be able to cite and define exactly what that market is. So like you just clarified, something in the US, but exactly what is it in the US? So have the parameters that you use to find your TAM SOM, what those markets are. And then on your SOM, suggest a time frame because that's obtainable, your SOM. How many years are you projecting that it will take you to obtain 5 to 8 million?
So that 45 billion, and I did the research in regards to the 45 billion for, what's the projected amount for 45 billion for 2025, actually, is why I did the numbers. And so the projected amount for 2025 was 45 billion. And then, of course, where I made the mistake of the serviceable available market, it should, of course, been 1.2 billion. And then annually here in the state of Nevada, which when we did the numbers for our, one of the persons that's attempting to invest, we came up with the same numbers of 5.8 million as well annually for the actual gross profit. So I do see where I did, of course, where I did the service, the SAM incorrect.
Okay, so as an investor, if I were looking at that for pretty much any company, I would call bull. I think and it's great if you hit it, but you don't want to overset expectations. You really want to think about what it will take to ramp up to that number. How much are you going to need to spend to get your locations? When will you actually, be achieving that revenue?
Okay.
Because they want to know when I get my money back. And if you say you're going to get your money back this year, it's unlikely for any startup. So err on the side of conservative on those, especially if you're doing annual. A lot of times people will do a 5-year SOM. All right. Any other notes in the room?
No, I think y'all are all covering it. Am I okay here or do I need? Yeah, I'm okay. They can me. Yep. What she's saying is key because that's what I always look for with the serviceable, obtainable market is what can you really do in the time frame that you can do it in. And to Madeline's point, even if it's a low number, if you can achieve it, that makes you more credible in order to achieve it. The other thing that I was going to suggest is, and they were working your way into it, was the most part of the presentation is getting people's attention. So what they were mentioning about starting with the problem statement is, like, if you go up there and you said something like, hey, have you ever been visiting Las Vegas and you needed a place where you could smoke and you can't do that in your hotel room? You see, I just grabbed your attention there, didn't I? Okay, and I think that's whether you put that on a slide or ideally, if you make that the verbal attention getter, then you can flow into, boom, we're going to create some cannabis consumption lounge. You see what I did there? That's all I wanted to add.
Loved the 420 pricing, by the way. Some good branding there. Good details. One last note would be on the ask slide. So if those of you that are asking for money and making an ask, 2 suggestions here. One, on the deal terms, I think you had 15% ROI. Do you mean 15% equity? 15% of your company? So coming back to like that 5 to 8 million, if you're saying ROI, you're guaranteeing that they're going to get that. You can't guarantee that. You can project and you can work your butt off, but you cannot, nobody can guarantee a return on investment like that unless like a government bond. Right. Do you, okay. So if I'm going to invest in your company, I want ownership in your company.
Okay.
So that could be straight equity. That could be either a convertible note or a safe. That's something that at a future point in time, it converts into equity. But I want ownership of your total profits, regardless of what they are. If you were to somehow guarantee somebody money and then not get there.
Right. So
Right.
that's where
Yes. So then you've got to, if it's 15% equity, then you've got to figure out, you're asking for 2.5 million as 15%. What does that make? Anybody math? 375. No, what's the total valuation? Yeah.
2.5 million divided by 0.15, so you multiply it by approximately 8, so you're probably looking at about $12 million valuation.
Okay.
Roughly.
Yeah, so $12 million valuation. And then investor's going to say, how so? Justify it. And the number one thing that justifies it is sales or some other very tangible traction. So you want to make sure however much equity you're giving up of your company, that it's appropriate in line with the sales and traction that you've had. And also on the reverse, that you're not giving away too much of your company, right? So make sure that when you set the equity amount, you know exactly how much your company is being valued at and how you would justify that.
So when I'm looking at when I look at the number of the retail and dispensaries here in this jurisdiction, because this is the sales numbers that I'm getting from the Department of Taxation. So for the Clark County Department of Taxation numbers, I believe the Clark County jurisdiction for these 70 dispensaries and retail shops alone made $570 something million for those just 70 companies. So I'm trying to, I believe those, well, maybe I'm wrong because I'm not a mathematician.
No,
So I don't know how to get
Go
that
ahead.
to the correct.
Yeah, Ms. Ken here. I'm trying to just be the observer this evening, but okay, number one, the fact that you have these numbers that you can do an iteration with is a win and a good thing. So let's start there. Now, all it is a matter of further refining the numbers to match the parameters that Madeline was just talking about. The good thing is you've actually gone to find out from a tax standpoint, which is what they have to report. So in a way, you have your universe for what you would expect to make with it. I think the missing piece right now, and this is an iteration, is going from that universal average number to your specific location. Okay, and maybe there's some help or someone can help you bridge those numbers.
We,
at startupnv.org, there is a resource. I believe it's under programs, either programs or resources, valuation calculator.
okay.
You can type in all your information and it will spit out how we value valuation, how a lot of investors value valuation. So that's a great resource. Andrew's going to pop it in the chat because he's awesome. So great job. Lots of good stuff in there, lots of good metrics to back up your company. So nice work. All right.
Okay.
Are we gonna share from that sheet?
Yep. Hold on one second. Let me come up there and help you.
All right. We're doing one more here in the room, and then next up online will be Lucy after that.
Now it should work,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then I go here, right?
Yep. And then hit share. And then
Perfect, now how do I get rid of this, guys?
you can
Do this one?
do that little guy. Yep. And then if you want to start your slide.
No, I don't, I'm gonna go screen back in.
Okay.
Because they only have three, and then I'm gonna talk, right? Okay.
I think everybody can see it. Okay.
You got a microphone?
And it's right there. The little round thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Testing, can everybody off camera hear me? We get a thumbs up? The people, can you see the people? Yeah, okay.
All right, y'all. Next up. Ready when you are.
And action, okay. I'm starting my timer. First of all, thanks for letting me practice my pitch. My name's Edward Cunningham, and I'm the co-owner of Old Life Alpacas, which is a agritourism business up by Carson City. So you might ask, what is agritourism? Well, agritourism is a rapidly growing segment of the tourism industry. Various numbers that I looked at from 7.35 when Google AI answered last week, and it went down to 4.2 billion. But this was from 2022, a researcher from Penn State in conjunction with the USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture. I want to start with market size because that leads us to what is the problem. So the problem is, and what a lot of people, RVers, people in pickup trucks, people with travel trailers, they are fed up with skyrocketing hotel costs, which are really on an increase of like a 45-degree angle. I put a stat up here, top 25, there's a 20% increase in hotel costs in the top 25 US markets. With now an average room rate, I've found stats from like 269 to 200. So on our agritourism ranch, you can rent dirt, DIRTT or something. You can rent a camping spot for $30. You can park your car there. We have one glamping tent, which is a funny story. We don't have enough time, but we got it for free. And we're going to build more. Okay. The overall purpose of my pitch deck tonight. So what's the solution to those problems? Okay. And there's really three problems, right? There's expensive hotels. There's a lack of like real bonding, whether family bonding or friends, where they can really connect and commune with nature and kind of unplug and go offline. Okay. So it's like a decompressive thing where you're with nature. And this is the actual property. If you see Stacy holding, it's called a cria. That's a baby alpaca. That could be only a couple of days old, by the way. They're this tall. They're like 3 feet tall and they're running around within 5 hours. It's amazing. And then we have a country store, a little bit of a mismatched photo. That's a little fancier than what our store looks like, but it really does kind of give that vibe. Okay. Now, those are the 4 slides I did. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of wing it now and go through the slides that I'm going to develop. Okay. So we have kind of 3 problems. The solutions are staying with us and communing with nature. What products do we have? Okay. So we have agritourism where people can stay. We have educational tours for people. A couple of times, Stacy has had like 100 Boy Scouts camp on the back 60 acres. So there's like this educational connection with the community. We have community events. We have set aside time for PTSD walks, people with special needs, because alpacas are very gentle animals. They are not like a llama, which are very big. They're as big around as a horse. They're scary to me. Those can spit. The only time an alpaca will spit will be like a male in heat or something. So with alpacas, you separate them. Okay. Our target market. Okay. So this is interesting. So a couple of years ago, when I got into this, I spent 15 years in LA pursuing acting, living in Hollywood. I know Josh Brolin, right? So my website was flashy, black, you know, not the right theme. Okay. So as we dove into the psychology, similar to that pitch deck with the beard oil, the successful Harley owner is this like really high end, but kind of blue collar person. It's the same target market. So as we do more research, I think it's kind of like a Christian market. It's people that are frugal, but have $200,000 RVs. So it's kind of a good market because there's money. Okay. So I'm doing more research to actually really get specific with that. The competition, there aren't many big alpaca agritourism ranches. 7 minutes, right? Okay. But I'm going to have a list for those. I do have it. Okay. What's the business model? How do we make money? I kind of went over that. Also, one of the things that's giving Stacy a lot of notoriety among like the West Coast, and I mean like west of the Mississippi, she goes on a shearing route, is she's been shearing where you see they like get the animal and they do the shearing, right? So she's a shearing expert. She's going into like her 8th year. Last year, they grossed 84,000 in shearing generation in a 3-month period. So it's a big kind of win for us to fill the bags up with money, right? What's the traction? 2022, 21, there was 25,000 gross revenue. There was nothing going on because of the pandemic. 22, it went to 45. I started helping kind of around then as a friend. And then I officially signed on as co-owner January 1, 23. The gross in 23 was 96,000. And this year we're probably going to do like 160. Okay. The purpose of this deck is I'm pitching to get a real estate investment trust so we can buy that property. Okay. That's the overall purpose. We are kind of flatlined where we're at growth wise because the guy that lets us rent 4 acres, metals, he's got difficulties. He has mental problems. He hasn't showered in 2 years. So that like kind of a hoarder. So he gets in the way, like he'll undo a fence and an alpaca will die. So it's not a great deal. He also really overvalues it. So I'm going to go through this really quick now because I have about a minute. Milestones, that's going to be pretty easy. Stacy started the business in 2017. The ask, so that's a really complicated thing. My website builder's brother started a healthcare investment trust. In 2008, it went public earlier this year at 3.2 billion, and we just looked on Yahoo Finance, and it's valued at 4.6 billion. This guy is super nice. His name's Danny. Hopefully, I can meet with him, have this pitch deck polished up, and say, "Hey, can you help me with the mechanisms of a writ for the purpose of this?" From what I gather, this guy is a really, really, really nice, super wealthy guy that will look at it as a puzzle. And I have a feeling that he might help, lend me consulting 2 hours, maybe for 5 weeks would help. So the ask, I still don't know. I think if I came to Laird with 3 million, he would probably go for it. And that is my pitch.
Awesome. Great pitch. You preface and said a few times throughout, I know this is still in progress and some of the things you're still gathering, but I'm going to give feedback as if it was complete because it might be helpful to other folks online as well. So off the bat, great job defining the term in the industry, right?
What?
The agritourism, right? The very first thing you did is brought people to your knowledge level. So that is great. A general note for both yourself and others, AI is an amazing resource. If you're using Google AI or ChatGPT, make sure when you're asking or when you're gathering data that you're asking for cited resources, and maybe ask AI for 3 and then compare those, because you want to fact check anything you get. It's a great tool,
When
but
you
just
say
make
ask-
sure you fact check your source in
Like-
the prompt. So ask the
Yeah,
AI.
like typing in the Google search box, like what I write, "Hello AI, can you give me 3 stats for agritourism from cited sources?" That's
Yep.
what I write.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So whatever your prompt
I
is,
haven't
add
used- I
at the
haven't
end,
used AI
please
ever.
provide
Haven't
cited
used
resources.
ChatGPT. I've never used it.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's a great tool, just always fact check.
Well, because they're saying like you have to fact check and half the time AI is wrong. So that's why I think I haven't used it.
Yeah.
But okay, gotcha.
All right. I think you're very passionate about the business, and it's great that you already have traction. Like, it's an existing business, you're making revenue, that's great. I don't think yet that between your problems and solution, you fully captured and simplified exactly what you do.
Oh,
So
what we
you
do.
you highlight mostly one problem here,
Yeah, I mean,
the
that's.
hotel costs,
I'm
right?
just getting into like. Yeah.
Totally. This is for everybody, though. You want to make sure that your solution directly answers the problem. So you focused very highly on hotel costs here. And then when you got to solution, most of what you were talking about on the solution slide was about family and nature and togetherness.
Just what I was talking about.
Yeah. So just make sure that,
It has to make sense.
yes, it's
Yeah.
like a Q and an A, right? So the problem, whatever you say on the problem side, make sure you directly answer how you solve that on the solution side. And if you find that you have too many problems, summarize it into one overarching statement.
I
And
mean,
maybe you
really,
have
okay,
bullet
so
points to support.
if we
yeah.
have a minute, so it really is like, if we had this property, I'm also in another business with a guy who has a tiny home business, which is close to like a 300 million book of business. It's like a whisker. It's huge. They're amazing. They have them. They're starting to build them. The good thing about them is like 200-foot, it's like 65 a foot, right? So it would be like a 200-foot cabin. It's like 130,000. If you go to Studio Shed, they're like 500,000. It's crazy. The smaller they are, the more they are.
So numbers are great.
Now, this is my point.
Okay.
So if I talk about what the solution is in order to get the writ, if we had the land and we had 5 glamping cabins, like really nice glamping cabins, they would go for $199 a night because you could park the truck and the thing and the shower, fire pit.
Mhm.
So the money, I have to get into that somehow in this, that with owning a property will generate 30,000 a month for lodging.
Okay.
That's how we can justify buying the land.
Okay.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
So right now, what are your costs for somebody to stay at the property?
Like
And how
cost
does
of
that
goods?
compare
The
to
cost-
a hotel stay?
Oh, well, they vary from 20 to like 89.
Okay, so I would use numbers, because if you're focusing on the problem is that hotel rates are skyrocketing and your solution is that you can do better, and you can paint both a present state and a future state, but show the difference. What is an average hotel room in the area and what do you charge? And if you're,
I mean, I guess, yeah, how, So they can go like different levels of cheapness, from pitching a tent to parking their truck to renting the glamping tent, which is the most expensive. So part of like the tourism is, yes, it'll save money, but there are people that would like in a cabin with a shower and a little kitchenette,
Mhm.
they'd rather spend their $229 there and be on a ranch. So,
Sure.
so they're not going to be cheap. They can't be.
Which is why you've highlighted more than one problem, right? You're not just a cost saver.
Right.
You're adding
Not-
value in other areas.
So-
However, if you have, well, regardless, you have a business model, you have pricing, include the prices. And
Okay.
if you're making the case that you're better than something else, an industry, direct competitor, an existing solution, you have to make the case as for why, and numbers are gold, right? We
Oh,
love
okay, so
data.
like 30 to rent the tent, like 20 for the dirt, pitch your own tent, this for that. Our one glamping tent's $89.99 or 99.
Yeah, and if
then
you have
when we
like,
have the property and we have the money and we put the fancy glamping, of course, those won't be cheap, but it'll be a cool experience. So what Stacy, like, so I only work on the business, right? I
Mhm.
don't have real tactile relation to it. But like her thing is like people go and it's like a healing thing for them. They're all together. They're with the animals. I've been up there, right? And I've seen it, like the picture of us, right? This picture of us. It's just really, it's an experience of communing with nature and unplugging. So, and that would be the type of people that we would want, right? Like regular folk that have been successful, that can go and travel and spend some money.
okay, so let's say you have a case study, right? If you know kind of what your customer looks like, okay, family unit, they make X to X income a year or some, descriptor about them. They have the option to go to a hotel, spend this amount of money. Their kids are in different rooms. Their kids are watching the TV, like,
And have a
set up the
disconnected,
problem
the
so that,
same experience at their house. Perfect.
yep, so that when your solution comes in, you're checking all those boxes, how you solve it.
So the word experience, I think, is really key here because that's what I get from Stacy a lot.
Great.
Like I have this experience, they have this experience. What a great experience. You like just, the
Mhm.
vernacular, right? That sets it apart is why they would want to come. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Target market competition, I'll have those. Business model, Andrew said pretty much how we make money. I can outline that. So it's like day tours, the overnight stays, country store sales. She's going on TikTok. Huge market on TikTok. I didn't even get into it. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. That's a huge undertaking for stuff. And then we'll have a store. So just list, right? All the
Yes,
things we do.
well, so this is going to be your most important piece of feedback. Because you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of future
Like-
stuff, a lot of things going on. Yes, for the purpose of this presentation, focus.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're telling a very clear story. Like, I don't know if you introduced Stacy, but then a few times it was like Stacy this,
Yeah,
Stacy
yeah.
that. and It's like,
Okay.
who's Stacy? So make sure that you tell a story and just focus on exactly, the bare minimum of what's important
actually
in this pitch
support-
deck.
Just to start, like,
Yeah,
hey,
or when you introduce yourself, if you're
Business,
going to
yeah.
talk about Stacy, Stacy is my partner, my
Okay.
co-founder, yada, yada. All right, we are going to move on to
Okay.
the next.
thank you. That was great.
Great job. And then,
Thanks so much.
no, don't be.
Looking at the main source of how we'll be making money, and you have certain streams of making money like this. Is it important to put on the deck all of the streams?
That's an excellent question. If you have more than maybe 4 streams, no. So, yeah, one of the challenges for a lot of startups getting started is that you want to do all the things, or you have all these great ideas, right? And I would like to use the Amazon example. Amazon killed it, became the best bookstore before they became anything else. So not saying you can only have one revenue stream, one product line.
Years.
It was years,
Years.
right? So you had tiered pricing, that was great, right? It shows that there are some options, but we just need a very clear picture. We don't need to know all the different add-ons and all the different things, like what are the choices that your average customer has, or that your average customer is spending. Is that, so don't get too detailed, but if you have more than one revenue stream that you're going to pursue off the bat, then, include those briefly, but it is a red flag from an investor standpoint if you've got way too many revenue streams, especially, if you haven't launched yet, or, like
Okay, well, we're gonna see.
make
now,
the money
'cause
and then do other
we
things.
paranoid.
All right, Lucy, online. We are ready when you are.
Okay, do you see my screen?
We do.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. All right, so this is not finished and I haven't gone over some of the details with my partners yet, but we're doing practice, so practice is great.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lucy Brownlee, and my idea is called Picasso Studio. And I am a live wedding painter. Many of you might not have heard of this before, but live artists perform at events, weddings, corporate events, and we do canvases and portraits. And one of the things that we do that's tremendously popular right now is called a live painting of guests or fashion illustrations. It's extremely popular trend in entertainment. We perform at private and corporate events. And like the last person said, I want to put the money up there so everybody understands this is not as niche as they think it is. 7 billion is spent globally on event gifting every year, more last year, but 2023 was 7 billion. So the problem that I have that I'm trying to solve, you're looking at pictures of myself and my team as we perform at some of the casinos, big resorts around town for corporate events. We get asked to do huge events, 150, 250, 400 people at an event. And it's absolutely impossible for an artist to produce more than about anywhere from 6 to 10 little illustrations in an hour. So we go with teams, 3 artists, 4 artists, 2 or 3 assistants, and we're able to do about 150 people in 3 hours. It's tremendously hard work, and it's just frantic pace. There's a high demand for this service and a very low number of people capable of providing it. So it's slow to produce. The crowds are ever getting bigger in the event industries and the events that they're having. And we certainly can't do more than 1 event at a time. So on a Saturday night, if we get asked to be at 4 different corporate events, we can only do 1. And there's really no current viable solution anywhere in the world for any of the artists that are out there doing the same industry. So our solutions are this, and it's a 2-part solution. The first part is software. I have a provisional patent for a process that's a rapid imaging processor. It turns a person's photo into a pencil sketch. It replaces the sketch artist on our team with software, eventually AI, and it prints the outline for faster painting. Basically, it makes us a little pencil sketch that we can paint with watercolor, and we've made a bespoke, hand-tipped, embellished little piece of art using technology. The second part, or phase 2 of our program, is to develop the hardware. So there's only currently 1 printer on the industry made by Canon that will print the watercolor paper that we need to do this with. And it's big, bulky, and it's rather expensive. So we would like to develop our own printer for this. Our target market, who we're selling to, this is a business-to-business model for the software. So it's live art performers, and I have over 235 artists and letters of intent on a list right now, people who are waiting for us to launch this software, which we're very close. We're hoping January will be our launch of the software. We'll be selling to the photo booth industry, event and entertainment venues, and this will be available to new startups. It'll be a free download with a trial use on the software. And then it will be a pay per print at about $1 to $2 per print. So the more you print, it drops down to $1. If you're only printing a few, it's $2. And there'll also be subscription models, about $249.99 a month, to have unlimited printing capabilities with the software. We're also accompanying that with an Amazon store that provides access to all of the materials that we are currently using to do this. So we'll sell them the paper, the ink, the printers, we'll white label supplies, the watercolors, all the little ancillary things that go along with this. So for phase one of the software, the value for the end user is incredible. It's just almost a no-brainer. It's such a low investment, a high return, super easy to use. It makes their job faster. It makes their work better, and it increases their volume 10 times what they can produce. Now they can print out 100 prints in an hour. And if you've got multiple printers, 200 prints in it. So you could do 2,000, 5,000 size events. Really, it's completely expandable, and even non-artists can now sell this service because they can buy this, print it out, and with very little training, they can learn how to apply the watercolors and everything to this. And the business investment, super minimally low. The smallest printer you can buy right now is $550, and a backdrop for $50. You need to have any kind of a Windows operating system. The software is free. And then on your sales, so an average event's 150 people, and $15 per person is the usual charge, the usual ask. So $22.50 for an event. You're going to pay $150 to get your prints, $50 in materials. You're going to make a gross revenue of $2,050 the first time you use the system. The TAM for the events gifts industry, this is just gifts given at events globally, is $7 billion. The SAM, I use the number from photo booths because that's the closest to what we are doing, is the photo booth industry, where you're just taking a photo and giving somebody a cute little picture back for it. Only the quality of what we give back is so much better than a photo booth photo. SOM, 100 million. I feel that's really a conservative number, considering that photo booths have grown rapidly to $650 million in the last 10 years. And now people are looking, especially planners and event people, are looking for something new. And live art is really a hot ticket. They just can't find it. So we're going to make it available to them. Our competition, first of all, photo booths, the second most purchased entertainment, but the market is losing interest, and the products are cheap looking. Live artists, for people who are preferred loyalists and say, I don't want something that technology has helped with. I want it all hand drawn, all hand painted. They're still out there. I'm still out there. If you want to pay me $35 a painting, which is, you know, more in line with what a live artist is going to get for those kind of things, you can do that. And then you've got your caricature artists, your calligraphers, your painters, face painters, very small volumes. They can do about 10 people per hour. So market value potential on the software, in 0 to 6 months, we're looking at having 200 plus users download and try the software. If those 200 users just do a 100 print trial, it'll be $20,000 a month. 7 to 12 months, 400 users, we're doubling that. Some are going subscription at $249. We're at about 100,000 a month. 13 to 24 months, 2,000 plus users, 249, we're looking at about 500,000. Phase 2, the hardware plus the products. So once the software is up and it's running, we're working on designing and building that printer that will then follow the software and be part of the system. It works just like a home desktop. It's a small commercial unit. It's compact for heavy art paper and canvas. It prints labels, decals, light cardboard. It doesn't jam. It prints more. And it's priced between a home model, like your little HP that's sitting on your desk, and the commercial unit that's sitting down at the print shop. And our market with the hardware expands, and we're not only going for our Picasso users who are out there, our live artists and our event people who are using this system, but now we're looking at home crafters, Etsy businesses, art businesses, photographers, teachers, the list goes on. Anybody who needs a little bit better printer at home that will print labels and tags and stickers for your home business with your bottled honey or your salad dressing, or you need labels for the baby clothes you're hand knitting and selling on Etsy. The list goes on and on of all the things that we all need to print. The product sales that will go along with the hardware will be the printer itself, the software, the ink, the papers, art supplies, and then all online supports that will go with that in education and training and sharing and blogs. The TAM for the home printer market. This is the home printer market. This is nothing commercial. This is just what we buy and put in our homes and use. That's $48 billion a year. That's globally. That's last year. The SAM, 12 billion new home printer sales annually. That is only in the USA. 12 billion only in the USA in new home printer sales annually. And then the SOM, I used a comparable product called the Cricut. $888 million last fiscal year for Cricut, with selling a small desktop vinyl cutter and all of the products you might be familiar with that are sitting at Hobby Lobby and Michael's stores. And that's exactly the idea we're going for with Picasso Studio. Is it's a home printer for the art industry. It does more than your HP well. Our team right now is myself. I own Live Wedding Painting and Company here in Las Vegas. And Travis Cochran and George Eduardo are the software developers for Smart GPT automation. We're looking at a potential investment opportunity of $500,000 for 10% equity or preferred stock, which will just launch us with some money to do the printer design and some marketing and some legal costs. And that's what I've got done so far. And then this is some just information from where I'm getting my numbers from.
Awesome. Nice job, Lucy. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you are running a bit long. That was 12 minutes. So keep practicing and tightening it up.
Okay.
One thing, well, first off, I remember you from Startup Weekend, and I'm so glad you're pursuing this. Really glad to see this in action. So that's awesome. Kudos to you. Off the bat, I was a bit confused for maybe the first half on who your product was for, because I believe on the problem side, you're kind of setting it up as an artist problem. Like the artist can't keep up with the demand at an event. They can't humanly work that fast. But your customer is actually the event planners, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you really well.
How about now?
That's better.
Okay, great. I was a bit confused about who your customer was, because on your problem slide, I believe you were focused on the artist is not able to keep up with the demand at an event. They can't humanly get enough paintings out.
Yes.
But your customer is actually the business, right? The event production company. Is that accurate?
Well, the first customer is actually the artists that are already out there in the field, like myself.
Okay. So how does the artist's unique skills translate into what the software spits out? It sounded like it's eventually removing the artist. So if this is something that is providing value to the artist as well,
Right.
I would make sure to clarify that.
Yes. Okay.
So how does it work?
Well, so when we are working on an illustration for a customer, the first thing we're doing is we're doing a pencil sketch. That's just a basic outline of the person. And that pencil sketch takes the most time and is the most difficult because it's got to be accurate. So with the printer is taking the photo and converting it into a pencil sketch, We're printing it out and then handing it to the artist. So that part of it is done. Then the artist colorizes it. And yes, in a lot of ways, the AI will replace much of what the artist does. But as far as producing what the customer wants, it's a win-win because the artist is still out there doing what they want to do, which is providing nice artwork
Mhm.
to people at the event, but they're able, if there's more than 30 guests, they can't provide artwork anyways. They're dead in the water. So now if they're saying I've got 175 guests and I need pictures of all of them,
Mhm.
now they've got a way to do it.
Got it. Okay. So a suggestion there, it might be a great visual of like step 1, step 2, step 3 of
Okay.
what exactly your process is. And for anyone, if you have multiple customer groups, if you're B2B and B2C, or you have multiple problems, maybe make a list similar to a pros and cons, problem, solution, and make sure any problem that you highlight for any customer, if it's important enough to put it on your problem slide, that you very clearly and directly answer it on the solution slide so that we can
Okay.
follow that thread with you.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. And then on your SOM, over what period of time was that?
Which one?
Your,
This here?
um, on the first one,
On the first one?
yes, software,
Uh,
100 million. Yeah.
I would say within 5 years.
Okay. So if your average event is about 2,200, how many events will that take to get to that SOM? So again, just poking holes in your own numbers
Sure.
or, walking back from where you are today. How am I getting to that number? Because looking at industry comparables is super helpful. It's good to know what the potential is and what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
But with the SOM, you want to be as realistic as possible of what you are going to capture in the next few years.
Okay.
And similarly for your circuit on the other SOM.
Yes. This one?
Yes. So when you're grabbing an annual revenue from a company that's probably been in business many more years and may have more product lines, keep that in mind.
Okay.
So there's more that goes into theirs. You might be making that amount of money in 10 years, but out the gate, you're probably not going to be making
Right.
a,
So
a market leader's annual.
the SOM needs to be 5 years or less.
So just define it. Our guidance is 5-year period because that's a nice kind of near term, but enough time
Okay.
timeline.
Okay. Yes, that's helpful. Yes.
Awesome. All the ingredients are in there. Just keep refining and tell the story. So anyone, if you have a friend that isn't familiar with your business at all, they're great to practice with. Can they get this presentation and then repeat back to you what it is that your business does? Even if they don't understand all the, nitty gritty of the metrics, one of the core things that your pitch deck needs to do is paint the problem, show how you solve it, and how you're going to make money. And those are the highest priorities that you need to make sure are clear. And I know we're a little over time. So Travis, are you good to stay on and pitch?
Yeah, I could if you guys have a minute.
And
Definitely
could I
do.
get 30 seconds? Hey, Lucy, this is Ken Evans here. I'll be,
Ken.
hi, I'm traveling, but I just wanted to let you know that very good progress. Work on getting your problem out within 1 minute and then move on. And I won't be here Wednesday, but very good progress on the slides. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Awesome. Thank you, Lucy and Travis. Whenever you're ready, if you want to go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. when you guys can see it. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, we'll give this a shot. Everything is clear. You can see the screen well.
We can.
Okay. All right. So my pitch is the problem in the industry that I work in is manually donning gloves or putting on gloves wastes a bunch of time. It spreads contamination and it disrupts the efficiency in clean rooms and labs. So a lot of times it puts safety and health and the product at risk in many cases. When you're working in a clean room environment, you have to make sure that you do not contaminate the product. And when you're putting gloves on manually, you can contaminate it just by touching the wrong side of the glove. Our solution is to build an automated glove dispenser. So the system we have shown here on the right is a prototype for it's just a fast touchless donning system. So you no longer need to touch the glove, pull it out of the box, drop two on the floor. You know, this dispenses one glove, it inflates it, and you just insert your hand and you make a fist indicating that the glove is on your hand, and it removes the glove from a cartridge, and then your hand is free and gloved efficiently, cleanly, and quickly. Market opportunity and size. We're really targeting, our beachhead is the clean rooms and laboratory industry. So there's, gloves are used everywhere. Everybody always comes up with a new target audience for me when I'm working on this, but clean rooms and labs are a really good market. And the global clean room consumables market is around 12 billion, with gloves representing around 3 billion of that. Automated glove dispensers we're targeting around 20% of the glove users. So we're estimating around a 600 million market in addressable. And our SOM is basically, we're saying we can get 5% of the SAM within 5 years, which is about a $30 million opportunity in annual revenue. Our competition is really manual dispensers, which is the gloves in a box on the wall. They're low cost, but it's a high contamination risk. Competitors, the second competitor would really be like semi-automated or other companies that have tried to automate glove dispensing and donning. There really isn't something that functions on the market today. People have come up with ideas and they really haven't found something that works. So our advantage is really, it's a fully automated touch-free dispenser with sensors. So we're just reducing contamination and speeding up the whole process. Our business model is the machine. We're expecting the price to be around $2,000, which is about 4 times the manufacturing cost. And the machine is going to be a one-time purchase for clean rooms and labs. And then we have a consumables. So think about the Keurig market, where you buy the machine and then you buy the pods. So our consumables are a proprietary glove cartridge that the glove is mounted on in a box. So there's 50 each or 100 each inside of a box. And our target cost is around 3 times for the customer what a standard nitrile glove costs. So we're trying to keep the cost of the consumables down, but as you know, it's like the Keurig model. You pay a lot more for a Keurig cup than you do a glove, or sorry, a coffee pot or a standard coffee. So our revenue driver is really, the first of all, the machine sales, but then also recurring purchases through the consumables to ensure steady cash flow for the company. The team is myself. I'm an engineer and product manager. I have a bunch of experience in engineering, and I'm leading the development of this product of a fully automated glove dispenser and donning system. And the ask is, I'm looking for marketing and sales contacts to help us get into our innovative get this product into the right decision makers in clean rooms and labs. We have a website, we have some feedback, and we have some potential sales, but we haven't sold any yet. So looking to find contacts and get these into the market. And that is all for my presentation.
Great job. Very nice. 5 minutes, very clear and concise. Since we're on the ask slide, want to give kudos on the ask. And if anybody isn't raising money, you still have an opportunity to make an ask. There's people in the room, so take advantage of that. This is great. Asking for mentorship, asking for introductions. If you don't make the ask, you won't get the give. So nice job there.
Appreciate it.
I would suggest a title slide before your problem slide. Take a
Okay.
few to introduce yourself and your company, and then get into the problem.
Okay, I kind of stumbled into it as I was starting. I'm like, I didn't have a proper intro here. We're just falling into this thing. So
Perfect.
It's a good
It's good
point.
when we've got the same notes. You, especially when you're in health or disease, you have a significant opportunity. Any time that you can quantify the damage, the risk, the severity of your problem. Maggie, I know, always uses, is it a paper cut problem or a gushing artery problem? Contamination, disease, these things are pretty compelling. So if you can quantify, what the % of contamination from glove misuse or, whatever the issues are, if somebody's not using your product, that's going to be compelling. And similarly on the solution, if anybody has a way to quantify the time that you're saving, the cost that you're saving, anything like that, again, anytime when you can point to numbers, that's super helpful.
Definitely good points. So contamination, cost basically, and then time, potential time savings.
Yeah. So everybody reading your problem is going to go, yeah, that's a problem. I wouldn't want to get contamination. But again, if you can give a name, do people get E. coli? What is it? That's the proof in the pudding. That helps things really hit home.
Whitney had a question for him. Are there maintenance needs / costs for the units?
So there's a question online. Are there maintenance needs / costs for the units?
That I don't, not that I know of, but we really haven't gone through and made sure. We're still in the prototype phase. So, but it's meant to be maintenance free, but we don't know that for sure yet.
Got it.
But definitely good point.
And nice job on your SOM, putting the % and the time frame. So that was good, telling us how you got to that point. You mentioned that your glove cartridges are proprietary. Do you have IP? Have you filed a patent? Is it a trade secret? What's proprietary?
Yeah, we do have IP on the glove cartridges and the machine now. I think we are going, actually the glove cartridge is already published and the machine patent will be published in about a week.
So applied or granted?
Granted.
Okay, so just like sales is a big checkbox, so is IP. Those are things you
Okay.
definitely want to have on there. If you have it, use it.
So put the patent numbers and that type of thing. Or
Or even just say, issued patent on this. You can be brief here, and then investors can follow up and ask you, if they want to do diligence on your patents, that's great. But again, it's additional value that you have that makes your valuation higher.
Okay.
So math is not my strong suit, but is it right that this is $75 for 50 gloves is what you want to be selling the price point at?
Yeah, I think it's right around there. No, it's going to be around 50.
25?
Yeah, around 25. Yep.
Wait, but 3 times.
A normal glove cartridge or 50 pack of gloves would be about a third of that typically. So they're around 12 cents per glove on average right now.
Okay, yes, I cannot math. All right, so you are 3 times more expensive than the alternative. That's what you're saying there.
Correct. And part of that is because we don't have scale yet, right? So hopefully we can scale and reduce that cost. Because the biggest thing is trying to get a beachhead market that can afford to pay, or that has a pain point that's worth solving with this, to get the manufacturing scale, and then hopefully we can grow and address all markets, so it could be everywhere.
Got it.
But I think I could clarify that on this page for
Yeah.
the pricing too.
Yeah,
Are the gloves regular gloves that are then like put into the proprietary cartridge, or are they proprietary gloves?
Correct. It's a value add process that we do.
Okay, so you could get gloves eventually super cheap if you could scale,
Yeah. Yep.
like 3-4 cent gloves.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
awesome question. And that's a great point to make there. And anybody else,
Yeah.
tell me if you disagree, but I would not, for this purpose, at this point, I would not call attention to the fact that you're going to be 3 times more
Agreed.
expensive because
Agreed.
you're not
Agreed.
also justifying it. Or if we're,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Travis, this is Ken, fellow engineer here, for what it's worth. Definitely intrigued. You already answered one question, but I want to follow up real quick. Do you actually have a prototype machine that works, or do you still need to construct your prototype?
We're about 80% of the way there.
He goes, I got it right here.
Okay, excellent.
But I have issues with it still. I'm still, that's the engineering in me just continues to optimize, and we need it to be functional to where I can prototype or demo it, right?
Understood. That's the reason why I was asking. And then the other question I had is, have you looked into contacts, for example, Johnson & Johnson, or someone that already does gloves?
I've reached out a little bit to some of those there. So there is a company that builds you've seen the Subway style, the clear plastic gloves that they would wear.
Right,
Food service.
right.
There's a company that builds an automated dispenser for that. They're called the Aero Glove. The company that makes it is Hank's Craft. And I reached out to them about 2 years ago before I had really much. And they said, prove you can make something work and we'll talk.
Okay, cool. That's where I was going with it.
But
Good,
these
great
are all-
start.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, great start. Very quickly, while I have the microphone, all of you that did presentations, very good. This is what we're looking for.
Yeah, excellent.
Appreciate it.
Excellent. A lot of the feedback everybody was getting was very, honed in and nitpicky overall. Really, really awesome job. And I'm going to give you one more note because it probably applies to a lot of people. On the team slide, that's also an opportunity. You want to be telling us why you are uniquely suited to bring this product to market. Why are you the best person? So you mentioned years of experience. That's great. Be specific. Company logos or an achievement or titles or anything that you can do to, I'm not going to say, not embellish, but
Highlight.
highlight. Thank you.
Highlight, there we go.
Yes. Cool. Any questions from anybody online before we go?
Well, we have one person in the room who showed up. Who
Oh,
wants
great.
Not late, but I would appreciate it.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yes, for those of you online, we have another person in the room. If you can stay, we appreciate it. If not, enjoy your dinner and your evening and make sure that y'all have signed up for a slot on demo day.
Down here,
Great.
cast screen. I can cast from my Chromebook.
That may not work on these.
Okay, let me, go ahead.
Let me,
Hey, you want me to give you like a hand when there's 2 minutes left and then one?
Oh, sure, that would be great, because I didn't set the timer.
So in 5 minutes, I'm gonna go like this.
It's 2
1 minute.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
I have my time, so it helps.
Oh, yeah, it helps.
okay.
It's in I saw that on, there you go, on Google Docs. This is my presentation right here.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
let's join.
Okay, oh, the Zoom, okay.
Can you let us in? Please. We should be now. Oh.
Mhm.
I just
Put your
put Liz.
face, mhm, yeah,
Liz, there you go. We're joining.
okay. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And then share my screen.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yes, we are not gonna join with audio. No to all of that. And
Close. Yeah, 'cause I closed all the other windows, so nothing will pop up.
share. And we're on, okay, let's drop this down.
Start the slideshow. Yeah, because I manually move it.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank y'all for taking the extra time to hear me out. My name is Elizabeth Morrow. I am, oh, that's the, okay. Should I talk, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, take two. I'm Elizabeth. Thank you for hearing me out. My name is Elizabeth Morrow. I am the future owner of Elite Paws Haven, which is going to be a pet care and canine rehabilitation facility that does dog boarding, daycare, grooming, and wellness services with a super mission to rehabilitate shelter dogs. Currently in Las Vegas, pet care services often lack a combination of luxury, wellness, and social responsibility. They're pretty dry. There's a lot of times where there's not room for the dogs to run around. Your dog could end up in a decorated cage. It's well decorated. We also have a problem with the significant millions of dogs that are dying every year due to overpopulation. And these pets often need rehabilitation before they can be adopted, which requires time, care, and resources that I can provide at my facility. Elite Paws Haven will offer a full range, it's 360, of luxury boarding, dog care, daycare, and grooming services enhanced with pet wellness programs such as dog yoga, massages, and wellness checkups. The on-site dog bakery will provide fresh, healthy treats, while the Bodega Cafe will cater to both dogs and their owners, pets. And I want to say, I've been speaking specifically about dogs, but we will probably expanding the cats because cats are walking around on leashes now. So we're going to offer that as well. We're also going to probably be the first place to offer delivery for your dog that you can actually get through Instacart and the different delivery models. Our unique social impact is what makes us stand out. Elite Paws Haven will work directly with shelters. I work with the Animal Foundation. I'm a volunteer foster and owner of 3 dogs from the Animal Foundation. They got me 3 times already. And to rehabilitate shelter dogs, preparing them for adoption. A lot of times they're stressed. They go into a new environment or they meet potential new owners. They're too stressed out to even quote unquote act right. They need a facility where they can come, run, train, and do dog stuff in order to get prepared to get adopted. So the market opportunity in Vegas is valued at over $300 million annually with a rising demand for luxury and personalized pet services. Pet ownership is growing every year, as we know. Families are viewing pets as babies now. Yes, the part of the family, and they are willing to invest heavily in their well-being. So we have identified a gap in the market for a comprehensive pet care facility that offers a variety of services in one convenient location. So the trends, the humanization of pets with more consumers seeking high quality, healthy, and even gourmet meals for pets, the growing awareness of animal welfare, encouraging pet owners to support businesses with social impact initiatives, and strong interest in wellness services for pets, which goes along with the homemade dog food that you're seeing, more interest in feeding your pets more healthy and doing more activities with your pet to keep them mentally healthy as well. And of course, increased focus on animal welfare and ethical care models because we want to care for these dogs. You don't want your dog locked up in a cage for a week while you're away on vacation. And you also don't want to leave them home alone during the day if you're a good dog mommy and have them be by themselves all the time. So for Las Vegas specifically, we have a lot of good traits. 49% of us are likely to get their dog a professional massage, and 83% a professional groom. They might have taken the #1 spot for indulgence, but only 33% are going to get their dog a mani-pedi. So we don't offer the mani-pedis, but just add that to the grooming package. Dog owners in Las Vegas are most likely to let their dog sleep with them and do yoga with their dog. So we can offer program events, so you can come and do yoga with your dog. You can work out and your dog can be working out too. So that'll be a feature. Our target market is affluent pet owners in Las Vegas area who prioritize high quality personalized pet care. Primary customers are going to be in Northwest Las Vegas that are affluent. They're seeking premium, convenient, and community-oriented pet services. Usually households with incomes over $70,000. Most people spend anywhere from $300 to $500 a month on their dog and just food alone. Pet care is a whole different, boarding and daycare is a whole different animal, but busy professionals who need reliable and high quality care during work hours. Okay, perfect. So the secondary is pet enthusiasts, individuals and family. Luxury dog care customers are often millennials and Generation Z who are willing to invest in their services for their pets. The market segment is 369. This should have been $1 billion. The serviceable available market is 82.13 million, and the service obtainable market here in Vegas, my projections are for $750,000 for the first year and $1.2 million for the second year. I will do that by the following revenue streams. Boarding, for instance, will start at $120 a day. Daycare, I'll be selling packages, which will start at $1,000 a month and include 5 days of daycare and grooming. Grooming and spa services, our retail port arm, which will have curated pets, products, and accessories. Our cafe, as I mentioned before, our pet wellness services, and our pet transportation, which is another arm, which is very important. Okay, perfect. So our local competitors, there's a lot of boarding here. I went ahead and put it on this chart so we could see better. And as you can see, I offer all features, including the luxury boarding. I don't know why that crossed that off, but I offer, I'm here in the far left-hand side. And if you look at my competition, you'll see that they have a very limited offering. I offer all the features and services that are listed here. So my key strengths here are the private dog park, the premium positioning, and the multiple revenue streams. So some places may have an edge because they do in-home pet care. I could offer that at some point, but right now I'm focusing on the facility. Opportunities to grow or capitalize on the lack of direct competition, offering a similar combination of luxury services, on-site focus, and site amenities. Leverage the property's potential for expansion and growth because I do want to purchase their property. Targeted marketing for pet parents will be through social media, influencer partnerships with veterinarians and local pet bloggers, community outreach, paid advertising, and streaming brand channels on Amazon and YouTube. I'll really be streaming and we'll be able to feature the dogs and things that are available. This is where it gets long. I'm sorry, because I left some extra slides in. So this is for, as you can see, once again, we're going to set ourselves as a premier destination for luxury pet care in Northwest Las Vegas. I plan to have an initial capacity of 30 members with the first 6 months. Promote the full range of services, including the dog park, grooming, daycare, pet transportation, retail, cafe, and e-commerce platform, and drive e-commerce sales and increase brand visibility online. I won't read this to you, but I am a lifelong animal lover with a special passion for dogs. I used to work as an executive assistant for many years in different finance, different industries. But I have been loving animals my whole life. And I'm driven by my dream to establish a pet care facility that reflected my own high values for my dog care. I founded Elite Paws Haven because I wanted to create a space where dogs could receive exceptional care, enjoy enriching experiences, and feel genuinely pampered, all while contributing to the well-being of shelter dogs in our community. My staffing, of course, I'm going to add more staff. It won't just be me, but I will plan on being on site 24/7. It's a residential facility. And these are the key personnel. Of course, I will contract with certified pet care professionals for daycare and boarding, experienced groomers. They can also rent out like a salon model where you can rent. I don't know if you know, most beauty salons, they rent out their booths. I'll do that kind of setup. Wellness staff certified for pet massage, yoga, and checkups, and also CBD. Cafe staff trained in preparing pet-friendly meals. I'm going to go ahead and move on because I know I've went over my time, but these are my financial projections from each revenue source that you can review at your leisure. This is how I'm going to scale: expand premium services, offer add-on treatments, training sessions, and specialized care, open additional locations in high demand areas or affluent neighborhoods, collaborate with veterinarians, pet stores, and other pet-related businesses, loyalty programs implemented to rewards that's very popular, and referral programs to increase customer retention, and service diversification. Explore dog walking, pet sitting, or in-home services, which is what I will do additionally. This is my investment ask. I'm asking for $3 million for the property purchase, the facility renovation, technology upgrades, staffing, and working capital. And as you can see, I broke it down in a nice chart so you can see where I would be spending the money. And this is my call to action. I hope that somebody will join me in redefining pet care and creating a 360 facility for pets. And I hope somebody will this is my exit strategy. Acquisition, franchising, or growth. I would really like to grow and not franchise out, but expand to more places. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Awesome. Great job.
Oh, I'm not sure. Stand up here for my.
You can be
feedback.
wherever you want.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. If you
Well, I
want.
look at your faces.
Okay.
Oh,
No, you're gonna need to.
Okay, okay, okay.
First off, biggest highlight and kudos on the competitive matrix. That sheet with the check marks, that is above and beyond. That's exactly the way, definitely at a stage when you're asking for money, if there are a lot of competitors in the market, or you have, a number of features or benefits above your competitors, that's the best and easiest way to look at it.
Yes.
Right? That's so clear. So for those of you that have competitors in your market that you really want to say, my price is better, my this is better, here's all the reasons I'm better, that's the way to do it. So nice job on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Off the bat, say that you are the founder of the company. You're not the
Okay.
future owner.
Okay.
Own it now.
Okay.
So even
Okay.
if you haven't gotten your business license,
Okay.
there's a whole
Oh, yes.
business plan there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So own that off the bat. And this is sad to say, but it's an opportunity when you're, again, if you're painting a picture and you're talking about euthanize.
Euthanasia.
Okay. Dogs, you can use a number. How many dogs are put down in your?
I thought about that while I was sitting.
That's gonna
here.
resonate,
Yes.
right? It's like,
Yes.
oh.
Yeah.
So take advantage of
It's a
that.
painful number.
Overall, your biggest note, trim,
Yeah.
75%.
I know.
Keep some of that for the appendix. That's great that you
Okay.
thought about all these different things.
Okay.
But really focus on the core slides.
Okay.
And on bullet points.
Yes. And
Yeah.
shrink it down some.
Shrink it down.
Okay.
Brief, digestible.
Okay. Thanks.
I have one note, this is based on experience with businesses and numbers
Mm.
in spaces. Let me ask, so if you have 30 clients, they're all paying $1,000 a month.
At
Yeah,
least a
30
minimum of
clients, they're all
$1,000 a
paying
month.
$1,000 a month.
If you
If you
take
rented a share.
Yes. For groomers.
Where is that money? Because since you're getting paid, let's just call it 1,000. Then the only way they would rent for 600 a month would be if they were charging the client more than 1,000. So basically, I think my point is those people are employees, you don't rent shares.
Right. Okay. You instead of using contractors or yes. At least. And I'm recharging $85.
Spend $120 for an animal.
Yes.
Right, but what is the person, yeah, what's the employee making?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I don't think it's an out.
I know, so
No,
You can't rent space and then.
No, you can rent a chair. And
Well, here's the thing that we're highlighting here, is that you brought up a point that is different than the norm or
Mhm.
unique, and you didn't tell us exactly how it's gonna
Okay.
contribute to your bottom line
Okay.
and how it works,
Yes.
right? So it's again
Yes.
poking holes in,
Yes.
you know?
That's a
So
good
be able to
question.
say exactly how
Mm-hmm. How I'm gonna
that's
do that.
advantageous, how you're gonna make money,
Yes.
how that works. Have
Yes.
those numbers figured out.
Okay. Okay.
What do you-
Because I have a master business plan. I have the whole business plan. It's just hard for me to squeeze it down into, this shorter.
Yes. So
Yes.
it's the founder's
Yeah.
dilemma. You know all the things, you're passionate about all the things.
Yes.
You don't need to communicate every little thing,
Okay.
right? We need to know
Okay.
who you are, what the
Okay.
problem is, what the solution is.
Okay.
How you're going to go to market and deliver your product, how it works, how you're gonna make money, how I'm gonna get my money back. as an
Okay.
investor.
Perfect. Okay.
That
Okay.
and
I'll cut that,
nothing
trim it
else.
down.
Like-
Okay.
People get, like, once you said, what your facility is going to do
Mhm.
and that it's a luxury thing, you don't have to circle back to all the
Okay.
different aspects of it.
Okay.
One thing,
Yeah.
by the way, what Steve said is like, so this pitch deck, like from what he told me, you have you have like 5 pages, 8 pages, 12 pages.
Mm-hmm.
You have the 3 minute, 5 minute.
7 minute.
This is the one that he described that you would send to an investor that would just read it. Because this is like 17 with detail.
Right.
So when you cut it, keep this, copy it.
And make yes,
This is-
yes,
this is
as
the
the
good
original.
copy, right? Then you attach it.
Absolutely. I
So you don't
appreciate
need
that.
to write multiple quotes.
I know.
So a great point in the room
Thank
is
you.
that you may have 2 different versions of your deck. If you're going to be sending it out via email and not doing a live pitch,
Mm-hmm.
or following up with investors and they're just going to be looking at your deck, you want to make sure you have enough information without your narration that they can understand all the points. When you're doing a live presentation, you just want those bullet
Straight
points so that
and
you
keep-
know what
keep
you're
them-
talking
yes.
about, any numbers up there. I would say especially in the luxury market or when you have dogs, which are emotional pictures.
Yeah, more
Use it,
pictures.
paint the picture. Yeah, you painted a picture with your words,
Yes. Okay.
paint less words and use
Oh,
pictures.
use pictures, more
to-
pictures.
to kinda
Okay, because
show
I
what you're
was
going for.
confused. I got stuck today inserting images from Google and it gets overwhelming and then I had to put it down and this is a much easier arena to focus on.
Please.
Okay, so.
Oh.
Oh, there are people listening.
Yes. Oh, there's probably people still on. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, they're still here.
Hello, everyone. Ken again. Okay, it was immediately apparent to me, especially towards the end, that this is extracted or based on a business plan
Mhm.
because all the detail and the methodical way things are laid out. Having said that, we've already talked about how to condense it. So for example, do you have someone on your team that can help you with the graphics for this presentation? Because here's something, this is for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to do everything by yourself. Maybe give it about a half hour, an hour. If it's taking too much longer than that, see if you have somebody in your network that can help you add the
wish-
images and things like. That's
Yes.
for 2 reasons.
Yes.
One, that's to get it done for now, but
Yes.
now what you're also doing is seeing if you have another potential resource or team member for the future.
I'm gonna look on Fiverr because I don't have, and I am bootstrapping. I don't even have my boots on tonight, but I am literally making it like cents at a time. So I'm trying to get this before I get the money. I'm trying to
I
do
get
as soon as I
it.
can.
Before you even go to Fiverr, if
Mhm.
you have a circle of family and friends, see if there's someone in your circle of family and friends that may believe in what you're doing
Okay.
and give you some in-kind services
Okay.
just to help you
Just-
spruce up your
see.
PowerPoint.
Yes, I
Okay.
will see. I will see. I'm the most skilled person in my family, so you know.
Yeah.
I understand. In my circle, yes, they come to me, but I'm
One
gonna
more
try to-
suggestion, since we were talking about ChatGPT earlier.
Mhm.
You can also go to ChatGPT and
Yeah.
say, send me 5 options of free downloadable templates for X.
Yes.
Or examples of. Like,
Yes, and I get caught, and then I
and
get
source
caught
some
up.
of
That's where I get caught up. But yeah, now that because I didn't know where to size it down and then go back and add the graphics. Because I just started adding graphics, as you can tell, see that it's all, I didn't even add templates to make it nice.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. The only other thing is for me, and this is for yours as well as for you, first name again? Edward. Okay. your presentations are real estate deals to me.
Right.
Okay, so, and what I mean by that is, in order to make your idea work, it's real estate intensive, especially in your case, because that's what I was waiting to find out is, and yes, part of what you're looking for is the money to do the
I didn't say that I
acquisition.
was doing what property, because I actually have a property in mind. I took that out for $1.2 million. Yeah.
If I may,
Mhm.
actually, from where I'm sitting,
Mhm.
that needs to come out that you actually have a property in mind.
Okay, okay.
Because none of this happens if you don't have the right property.
property,
The only
yes.
other thing I'll say real quick, because I know we got time is, or with limited time is, do some due diligence on why other facilities are not doing some of the services you want to provide. And I'm not being negative.
Mhm.
I'm just suggesting that there may be a reason why they're not doing it in terms of the cost to provide the service.
Exactly, which is, yes, that's where we go into the luxury market, and that's also, and they also don't have the space. If you board your dog at the veterinarian's office and you trust your vet to take care of your dog, but they want to board your dog, they're going to put your dog in a cage and walk him 3 times a day, and then he's going to stay in the cage. Or if you take him to another boarding facility, they offer the luxury rooms. Dogs don't like to stay in luxury rooms. They have a luxury room
got
at
a
home. They want to
bed
go
bigger than that.
outside. Yes, they want to be, we have agility courses, we'll have breed specific yards for them to play in. And so it definitely.
If I may,
Mhm.
if I may, not to be rude,
Mhm.
I'm already aware that I have 2 potential clients right now that I watch them from a distance, plus I used to have a pet.
Mhm.
I'm already aware that, just to be more blunt, what
Yeah.
I'm getting at is, it may cost you a certain amount of dollars to provide the service.
Yes.
And all I'm suggesting is you may get into this with a little bit more due diligence
Mhm.
and figure out that although you want to provide that list
Mhm.
of services from an economic business
Mhm.
model standpoint, you may or may not be able to do it. Again,
Right.
not
And
trying to be.
especially, that's why I'm limited to 30 customers. I'm only going to allow 30 customers my first,
Okay.
there'll be a waiting list. I can't provide quality service for hundreds of dogs.
Okay,
So yeah, that's why I'm limiting the
All right.
people. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. There is actually, I think it was a previous Incubate Vegas cohort. There's a lady that's doing a pet taxi, pet Uber.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
but you mentioned that potentially
Yes.
there's
Pet
opportunity there.
transportation, not only to our facility, but to I have a mobile vet for my dog, and she suggested that I start a transportation service because people of the demand.
I would
for-
be a customer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
any opportunity that you have, if there is an opportunity for a strategic partnership,
Mhm.
somebody's already doing it. they're doing it
Yes.
Well.
Then I can
and you
contract
leverage
with
that,
them
that's
in
great.
order to cut down on
So
costs.
overall, the pieces are there. Don't be
Yes.
redundant. You don't need 2 market slides, 2 marketing slides. We don't need, I love that Ken said, not the whole business plan, right? So just hone in
Okay.
on the details and the
Okay.
specifics, but.
Okay, and show more specifically how I'm gonna make money and not have to spend all my money. That's why I'm trying this, because the projection is 7.2, for, 7.2, 1.2 million for the first year, but that's the expenses, the 750 was with the expenses already, the cost of doing business.
So you're saying that was net?
Yes, right,
So your gross.
Profit. yes.
So I would
Yes.
want to, as an investor, potential
Mhm.
investor, I would want to see that. I would want to understand how you got from 30 customers at this price equals this much minus the cost of
Yes,
building.
okay,
Be prepared to back that up. Because
Yeah.
again, my BS radar is going,
yes,
profitable year 1,
Yes.
good property, new business.
yeah, right,
So
I know.
make sure that you can justify the claims that you make.
Yeah. So minimum of $1,000, that's the minimum. You can't come in for less than $1,000. Now what I was debating on was whether or not I was gonna do $1,000 per month or a fee at the beginning and then charge, because the daycare is per day. They're still per diem charges for daycare. It's not all.
So make that super
Yes.
clear and digestible
Okay,
so that you don't have to explain it
okay.
and we don't have to math.
Do the math.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
just
I'll
kinda
break it
show
down,
us how it
show more
all
detail in
adds
that
up.
area instead
Yeah.
of my redundancy and the double marketing. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you all so
Yeah,
much. I
thank you.
appreciate you so much.
And thank you, everybody online in the room, especially presenters, but everybody that showed up and supported and hopefully learn something